the Marriage Show with Regina Dorcas. Whatever it takes, you can fix it.
Hello and welcome to another wonderful and exciting episode of Spice the Marriage Show, where we talk and educate on relationship and marriage. And I am Regina Dorcas. Today on the program, I have two special and wonderful guests that will be talking to us about the struggle of a boy child and the marginalization of the boy child. Yes, like I said, this month, we have dedicated this month to talk about the boy child because the boys they need to be talked about. The boy child has been neglected enough. And on the other hand, it was said, no matter what it takes, no matter how you train a girl child, she will still fall back to the untrained boy child. So now, we have two wonderful guests at the house that will be talking to us about how marginalized they have been. There are two wonderful guests, which are men. I know a lot of people have been asking why I have not brought a woman to the show. But don't worry, let us hear from the men because they are the ones complaining. So if you have any question and you have any contribution and you want to be part of this program, please feel free to send us a text on any of the numbers scrolling on the screen or follow us on our social media platforms. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's Spice the Marriage Show. And like I said, I have two special guests. From my left, I have Mr. Iriebu Dixon, Mazi Dixon, Namdi Iriebu. So you're welcome to the program. And I want to use this opportunity to say thank you because you're always there anytime I call you. Thank you so much. And you really talked about this boy child thing, and I'm pleased. And a lot of people out there have asked a lot of questions, which I think we'll be talking about it today. So I'll say welcome. My pleasure. Welcome to the program. I have Mr. David Okezie-Chiwoba. He's a chartered accountant. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
You're welcome. This is Spice the Marriage Show. It's all about relationship and marriage. But today, yes, when we talk about relationship and marriage, it boils down to family. Because I keep telling people out the family is building block of every society. Without family, no family will be raised. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a single parent, you're a single mother or father, you migrated from a family. So sometimes we need to go back to the drawing board and see how we can make things better to make that marriage or to make that relationship a better one. So like I said, our topic says today, the marginalization of the boy child, the struggle. So I will be starting with you, Mr. David. What would you say about the struggle of the boy child?
Okay, who is a boy child? Is a male adolescent.
Yeah.
And then that will grow up to be a man.
A man.
The Bible says, I will start from Genesis. Sorry, I have to tilt a little bit from the Holy Book. It says God created them, male and female. Male first. But these days, we neglect the boy. I don't know why. Reasons, they assume that the male child will be a non-entity, not knowing he is the head of a home. You cannot use a bad egg and make a head. Of course, if the head of the water is spoiled, the rest is damaged. We neglect them. And then that is why we have so many domestic violences, so many broken homes, because we left the pivotal and be dealing with the underdogs. I'm not saying that women are not to be taken care of, but there are so many views about male than female, and it's not nice. How many? Let's look at it. We have a girl child day recognized by UN. Do we have a boy child day?
No,
we don't have.
I don't think so. Do you know of any?
But we tend to forget that no matter how a female is, she will be under a man, irrespective whether Quran, as long whether Hindu, whether any religious, whether even traditionalist knows that a man is the head. And I'll bring it according to the Holy Book also. Sorry, I'm tilting it towards, I'm a Christian. So, and I believe what goes on in the Holy Book of the Bible, goes on in the Holy Quran, goes on with other holy books that we all read. God Almighty, Jesus Christ, the head of a home is male, and then female before children. But if we tend to train to look after the middle without the head, what happens? And that's the reason. Give or take, you said you look at it, you protect a woman more of in sexual. I said, okay, protect yourself, family planning. Whereas is the man that's supposed to be championing the family planning, not the other way around. Because a woman cannot pregnant himself. We men have billions of billions of life in us. Yeah. Until we give it to a woman, he can't produce. So why are we leaving the head and be scratching the bottom?
Okay, thank you for that. Mazi, let's come to you, Mr. Dixon. Okay, now, I want us to go to the drawing board, which is the family, from the child, from when the child is being given birth to, what the male child signifies, and at what points have we lost it? That's, hey, my wife has given birth to a male child. At what point did we lose it? To be that when the child comes up something, to become either a boy, when the child falls, they say, get up, you're a man. What is that? I find that very, very not nice to me as a woman. So I want you to take it from that angle.
Thank you again for this opportunity. This is not the first time we're engaging it. And I must once again commend you for dedicating time to discuss the male children, the male child. You're a mother, so I appreciate that you're doing this. Thank you. I hope the society also learns from the discussions we raise or the issues we raise, while this program is on. Truth is, indeed, yes, the male child is not receiving the right attention he should get from his parents. Most times, the male child is raised to believe that men don't cry, so you just face it, and that's what life. Whatever it gives you, you make do with it, and they'll give it served, or giving a lemon, make a lemonade out of it, and all of that, and all of that. But forgetting that psychologically, you're not giving the balance that the male child needs to grow up and become the adult that he should be, and eventually become a husband, a good husband at that. So indeed, yes, it's important that we appreciate that the society has been unfair to the male child. And even adult, that is men now, the society itself is also still subduing the place of the men. In marriage, most times, when the woman is molested, everybody gets to hear. But when the man, or most men are molested, nobody gets to know. And you ask yourself, most times when the man drops, when the man is no more, the woman and the children now, will see the usefulness of the father at home and all that. So there is a need to be deliberate about our correcting this very wrong that we have done to the male child. African tradition, my brother has gone through the biblical angle, and of course also mentioned other religious books. Let's bring it back home. We're Africans. Yeah. There are those days when, as an Igbo man, most times the male child those days were given more of the attention. When the man, when a woman gives birth and is a male child, everybody, is excited about it and all that. But we've also seen that modern day, we've seen the evolution now. It's not just about focusing on the male child alone. An attempt now to not focus on the male child alone, we seem to now have abandoned the male child. I agree that the female child is also as important as the male child. But it's now the duty of the parents to understand that there is a need to have a balance. I have children. I have 2 boys and a girl. And using my own children now, for instance, I I would always make my daughter understand that, because she's the first, when it comes to who my children are, there's no one that is more special than any, whether male or female. I also make the boys understand that, for instance, the kitchen is not made for the girl alone. Yeah. So most times when my daughter is in the kitchen, or when their mom or the girl and the mother is in the kitchen, and I observe that the boys are on their own, I'm like, what are you doing here? Go and see what's going on there. In fact, I propose to every man to have the consciousness of the fact that, you see that kitchen? It's important to you too. If you can't take care of yourself, who will? So if we're raising men to feel like, oh, that space is not for them. But meanwhile, they say the heart of a man is most of the time is from his stomach. You can feel the pulse of the man or control the man more as a wife if you're able to fend for him, you know, from what comes from the kitchen and all that. But there's a need for the man to also have an understanding that you can also fend for yourself. So I think, sincerely, our society has derailed a bit in attempt to give focus to the girl child, and then we abandoned the male child.
Family is so important in a person's life.
Yeah.
That's the beginning. The Holy Book says, train up a child in a way he should go. And when he is old, he will never depart from it. In the olden generation, who dare you to walk like a woman, talk less of dressing like a woman?
Who is your father? What family do you come from to even imagine?
Thank you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, to add to what he said, I have a son, he's 21. He's in university. He cooks for himself. He cooks for himself. The junior one takes care of the house because all of them are not at home. If the mother goes to work, he cooks for himself. This is the training. We are saying anything that we are now started from our home.
Of course.
So at what, with all these children now, because that's what I even wanted to say now, because there are a lot of lost male children in the street.
Yeah.
Now, we agree the fact
The
that...
Almajiri system, for instance.
No, let's not go Almajiri. It's a kind of belief system.
Or social
yes,
culture.
for them. So
it's
culture.
an aberration also in our system.
Yeah.
Right? Those children out there, when there's no father or mother to fend for them, they now become a menace to the society. The Boko Haram thing that we're seeing in our country today, the bandits that we're seeing in our country today, we think they came from well-organized family structure and that they became those things that they became? No. So there's a need for us to also deliberately speak about these issues in our country. It's not a religious thing. No, let's not be shy about discussing it. Al-Majri system is not a religious thing. It has nothing to do with Islam. It's not. In fact, for me, that shows how inhumane we have become. That I will have a child of 7, 10, 5 years roaming the street without a father, without a mother, without any parental guidance. There's something wrong. And you expect that society to thrive? No, we cannot go on like that. There's a need for us to also use this opportunity you have given to us to discuss the male child challenges in Nigeria to raise that consciousness. There's a need to abolish Al-Majri system in Nigeria. There's a need for that. Okay. And this is not going against my friends or brothers and sisters who are Muslims. No. I was born in Kano. I grew up in Zazzau. So I know this thing I'm talking about. It's not going against what they believe. There's nothing about Islam and Al-Majri system. There's nothing like that. Even come to the eastern Nigeria too, when you say, oh, a family who couldn't fend for itself and all of that, they say, okay, let's focus on the girl child. She has to go to school, and then the brother drops out of school and then goes to learn trade and all of that and all that. Yeah, if the child has at least the basics, if you have gotten your primary and secondary education, that's basic. Anybody who's gotten that can at least fend for himself. You have been armed with the right knowledge at that level. Okay? So I don't have a challenge with that. But that a child has not finished primary school, and you say go and do boy, that's wrong. That's an aberration.
Okay. Let's hear from you.
No, but that in addition to what he said, yeah, all of us grew up, we are not silver spoons.
Yeah.
But when you go to school, you come back to help your parents,
Yeah.
either by trading or by helping domestically. Now, I want to say it's not the country. Let's go back to the basics, which is the family. Because whosoever you are in the family, a good family will make a good society.
Society, yeah.
And a good society, tantamount, will make a good country. Do you understand? So we should talk to ourselves, we that are adults, especially family. Unfortunately, you can't tell. I went to a barbing salon and a mother brought a male child to plait hair. How old? 2 years. Some less than 2 years. So if, as a mother, as a parent, you consciously bring your child for him to be plaited a hair, what do you expect him to be when he's a teenager? Talk less
A
about.
cross-dresser is being groomed from that.
What else do you? That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's where it started. A lot of people are plaiting there. Is it normal? It's not. We have our own culture. We copy the bad from the Western world. And instead of taking the good and modernize our own good, but we take the bad. Go to the airport. Unfortunately, you'll be ashamed of yourself when you see even a mother taking the both girl, both boy traveling. You see what they are dressing. Fortunately, by the grace of God, I have one girl child. She dare not wear something below her knees. I caught it. She's on her own.
Hair?
The child, they are plaiting his hair.
Yes.
When he grows up, and his own child wants to plait his hair, what do you think he will say? He will, first of all, encourage him, because that is where he started.
Let me tell you why I said no. Because I used to have a lengthy hair. I used to have dreadlocks. Mine was not plaited.
Yes.
I used to have dreadlocks, and sometimes
Natural.
it wasn't natural.
Allowed
As a
it.
filmmaker, I had that, you know. So I had dreadlocks, and sometimes I'll go to the salon to weave it and all of that. But while at it, I started raising children. I didn't take through. My children, in fact, came into the world and met me with dreadlocks. So one day, I woke up in the morning. They were going to school. I told them Daddy is going to shave today. That was 2008. And they thought, okay, it will be my beers and all that. They came back and met me with low cut, and they couldn't recognize me. But for me, I didn't raise, this is to counter the aspect that because I had long hair, I would have allowed that my children to also start having that. No. I grew up and became an adult.
Before you took that decision?
Yes, I took that decision to start having that. But if at the tender age of raising the child, you don't instill those things.
Will your mother forget the father? Will you dare have a dreadlock when you're growing up?
When I even started it, my parents were like, what is this you're carrying on your head? But they allowed it because at that time, I had started fending for myself.
Thank you.
When you have become now what you should become, and the adult, you can take responsibility.
Now.
And also, 1 second, and also what made you have that consciousness is far back you were growing up.
No
the
doubt.
Bible says, train up a child
No doubt.
in the way he should.
Not an adult.
Not an adult.
You can't train on that.
Now, when you grow up, no matter the way you have gone far, that spirit, that
there.
training will
there.
come back on you,
It's
and you
still
say,
there.
It's an unconscious thing. It will be there.
and you've
It'll
come
be
back.
there. It'll be
That's
there.
what happened. But now, when a child is already being trained the same way, he can never.
In the
forget.
name of training him like an ajibo, you want to dress him in those things and all of that. And that's also why, let me add to this, that the aspect of, thank God this is Spice the Marriage Show, the aspect of divorce, it also has some of these things as challenge also. Let me also cite again the American system. While the American system allows that, oh, the woman is so empowered to wake up one day to ask the man out of the house, and she's left with the children alone, including the male child to raise and all of that. The police is now doing the duty that the father that should have been in the house should do. So that's why you go to America, you see most of them locked up in prisons and all of that. But if the father were to be at home, there will be certain things that a child will not do because of the presence of his father in the house.
Okay, I would say one of the special reasons why we are doing this topic is because a lot of our young boys today are going off the shelf. Some think Yahoo is the norm, and some think cross-dressing is the in thing to gain publicity and affluence in the society. So that is one of the things that is making us talk about this, because honestly, I know of a woman that's he actually seized the son's phone. He met the son wearing the sister's clothes, a 10-year-old boy, and he was busy taking pictures with the mother's phone. And the mother caught him. When he takes the picture, he will send it to his friend and delete it on his mother's phone. That's a 10-year-old child. So it's a concern. It's a big concern to us, just like you said.
Yeah.
So we are running out of time. I would want you to give us a last take on that, on this young boys thinking that Yahoo is the in thing, and also becoming the number one. What did they? Because I actually don't know, and I do not want to know about having the best female cross-dressing thing and all of that. No, I don't want to use
the male best female dresser.
Okay. The male,
He's a male first best female.
There was no male, he was the best female dresser, and a male it be.
It's the same thing now. A male best female dresser.
So now you have changed your own now to the
male best female dresser.
That way you're now giving room for this kind of thing, meaning that a child who is in his innocence would want to
dress and win for the
would
girl.
want to be like. It's about role models. Those days when we were young, if you asked us who our role models were, there were those names, leaders in the land. The society needs to frown seriously against this these ills in the system, the Yahoo system, and what are the family values with which we are raising our children? When I tell my children, for instance, remember who you are, they know what I mean. Whenever they are outside or whatever, you're talking, today like they were having exams and all of that, and they called for me to pray for them before they go to the exam hall and all that. After praying, I say, remember who you are. Here we don't fret. Go in there with courage and ensure you conquer. That's who we are. So there must be certain level of value that every family unit would use to raise his or her own child. But the absence of fatherhood, we need to correct that.
Based on what you say.
Okay, your last take, please.
My last take. Everything in life is a process. Many of us, adults now, are giving a wrong perspective to our children by the so-called money. And that's what leads to them to start thinking that Yahoo is an easy way of getting money.
Yeah.
I will leave with this. I saw a clip 2 days ago on social media. A 10-year-old boy was roaming the street. Then that lady saw him and said, "What's your name?" He said, he gave himself name. He don't even know his father's name.
Whoa.
And 10-year-old. 10-year-old. How long have you been out on the street? About 3 years. He has been on the street.
He was 7
when he left.
Now, guess what? Will you like to go to school? Yes. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a Yahoo boy.
Okay.
I told you here. They are role
Okay,
models,
okay,
and those
okay.
people are
I want to say a very big thank you, Mr.
It's sad.
Irebo.
It's unfortunate.
Thank you so much
So
for coming,
sad.
Very sad.
coming on the program. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, very
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
time is not
Okezie.
enough.
Thank you
Yeah.
so very much. We're running out of time. I think I'm going to bring both of you again because this I want to be a Yahoo boy is becoming rampant
Yes,
everywhere right
yes,
now
yes.
because
Then
a
you
lot
can't
of
be a
children.
Yahoo boy. That's not a
I don't know
profession.
whether that's a profession,
That's
whether
not a
it's
profession
going to be added in our
all.
syllables now. I want to be a Yahoo boy. That's
At
because it's
all.
absurd.
At all.
So thank
We
you very
must
much for
frown on it.
coming on the program. Thank
you.
you. All right. I want to say a very thank you to my wonderful LX team. Viewers out there for staying tuned at this hour and time to watch Spice the Marriage Show. Like you heard, Yahoo boy is not a trade. Neither is it a business or a profession to look up to. And as parents, I keep saying, the best time to own your child is when that child is growing up as a child. Your male child had a head from when they were born till they become adults. Have it at the back of your mind that whatever it takes, your male child is that child that will not let your lineage go dumb. They will never kill your lineage. So please, that same excitement, that wonderful happiness, that excitement that makes you say, oh, I've given birth to a male child. As African, respect it and make it count till the end. If you have any question or any contribution and you want to be part of this program, please feel free to send us a text on any of the numbers scrolling on the screen or follow us on our social media platform. Like Spice will always say, whatever it takes in your relationship or marriage, you alone can fix it. I remain your host, Regina Dokbese. Bye for now.
Spice the Marriage Show with Regina Dokbese. Whatever it takes, you can fix it.